Top 20 Intervention Specialist Interview Questions and Answers. Intervention specialists help children in need of special attention and individualized learning approaches to reach their full potential and progress well academically. They critically examine every child using several variables before designing, executing, and choosing the right program that betters their learning. This article takes looks at a few questions that you should expect in an intervention specialist interview. You will mainly be asked about your experience, how you go about the different related roles, and your skills pertaining to the job. However, keep in mind that this is not an easy job, and therefore you to convince the interviewer that you are fully interested in it from how you handle yourself in the interview. Take a look at the following. 1. Why are you interested in this role? What makes you want to work as an intervention specialist? The best answer to this opening question is usually drawn from a personal experience. You can tell the interviewer a short story about how you decided to pursue this career or why you feel this is a perfect position. Make sure that it is convincing. Sample answer. I want to help children in need of special education enjoy their learning and make something out of their lives. Having been there before, I understand just how hard it can get without the proper support. This is, therefore, my way of giving back since I would not be here if not for my junior school's intervention specialist. 2. What are the roles of an intervention specialist? Do you know your job description? What are the mandates of an intervention specialist? You can either mention some of your roles in your former workplace or borrow from this particular position's job description. Sample answer. Intervention specialists are mainly mandated to support kids with special academic, behavioral, and social needs. They usually work closely with special education teachers, psychologists, and parents to develop and enforce special programs depending on the child's situation. You can go into the details or leave it at this point. 3. What are the qualities that an intervention specialist need to be effective? What does it take to be good at this job? The interviewer wants to know if you understand the critical attributes, skills, and behaviors that good intervention specialists should portray. Mention some of the qualities that have helped you scale heights in your career. Sample answer. An intervention specialist should be patient and passionate about making a difference in other people's lives. They should have superb communication skills, possess a positive attitude, and show extreme levels of creativity, which significantly helps in coming up with personalized programs for children in need. 4. Mention a challenge that you faced in your previous role. How did you manage it? The interviewer wants to know whether you can solve problems and just how good you are at it. This is a chance to sell yourself and highlight one of your positive attributes. Convince the interviewer that you will not spend the better part of your time complaining but finding solutions to problems. Sample answer. The biggest problem I faced in my last workplace was unsupportive parents. A good number did not participate in their children's education, citing careers and busy schedules. I had to step in and organize a meeting with all of them where I explained the importance of parent participation in the child's learning and worked on how we could meet at least once a month. The meeting was successful, and I saw a huge improvement the next month. 5. Describe your daily routine. Do you know what interventionist specialists do daily? If this is your first shot at employment, you can get in touch with an established intervention specialist to know some of his or her everyday roles. However, if you are just changing workplaces, think about a busy day in your former workplace and describe it to the interviewer. Sample answer. My day as an intervention specialist is usually packed. It revolves around evaluating children, checking their progress, and making changes to their development plans or creating new ones altogether. I also meet with parents to teach them how to work with the children and write reports of their progress. I may also meet with teachers, psychologists, and counselors to discuss the child's progress. 6. Briefly describe your experience. The interviewer wants an overview of your career. Where are some of the places you have worked in, the roles you have occupied, and the essential lessons you have learned? You can also include your achievements over the years. Sample answer. I have been in private practice ever since I finished college, helping children at their homes. I have not therefore given employment a try and cannot, therefore, mention my former workplaces. However, I have helped over 250 children with different needs in my 5 years of practice. 7. Mention a strategy and mindset required in this field. The interviewer wants to know your preferred mode of operation and guiding perspective when going about your roles as an intervention specialist. Make sure that you can relate him to the job if asked. Your answer should also be clear and concise. Sample answer. The best strategy that has immensely helped me in this role is constant monitoring and reporting. Constantly checking the progress of a special needs child helps you quickly recognize some of the areas that need improvement. As for the right mindset, I usually look at things positively to inspire the kids and convince their parents that it is possible. 8. What is the main challenge that you foresee in this role? Everybody expects you to have researched or figured out some areas that may be challenging after you get the job. Make sure that you convince the interviewer that you have all it takes to solve these challenges, even if it will need their help. Also, avoid challenges that may make you come off as incompetent. Sample answer. I have discovered that the intervention specialist to child ratio is 150, which is pretty much on the higher side. However, I hope that we will find a solution if it turns out to be too overwhelming. I am also a hard-working person and therefore positive that I will manage, even if it is for a while. 9. How do you stay motivated in this role? There are several challenges that you will possibly face in this job. You must therefore have a solid source of motivation if you intend to keep registering an excellent performance. Do not give reasons such as money or connections, but focus on those that paint you in good light. Sample answer. This job is gratifying, which is enough motivation. I will feel pleased knowing that I have helped a young person get closer to their dreams and fit into society. This reason overshadows any problem that I may face in the line of duty. 10. Mention a time that you failed in this role. What did you learn? Every failure leaves us with a lesson. Are you accountable enough to admit that you failed? Just give an experience that shaped you to be a better intervention specialist. Sample answer. One of my students failed to progress to the next grade when the teacher noticed that his intellectual capacities did not meet the required standards. I did everything I could, motivated the parent to work closely with him, came up with an individual plan, worked closely with the child, and constantly monitored him. Even though the fault was not mine, I felt that I could have done better. I beat myself up for a while but later discovered that things do not go as planned at times, and we should always be prepared for disappointments. 11. How do parents impact your work as an intervention specialist? The interviewer wants you to mention the role parents play in your work. Remember, even though your position may help students with special needs learn, they spend more time with their parents. Acknowledge that parents do play an essential role in your work. Sample answer. Parents hugely impact my work, given that they spend more time with the children than I do. We have to cooperate to help the children progress in their education. I usually have meetings with parents where we discuss how we can help the child and what their input should be. These meetings also help me get helpful feedback on the learners. 12. What is the importance of monitoring and reporting? Do you know the role that monitoring and reporting play in your work? This question seeks to reveal if you understand specific aspects of your job. Tell the interviewer how monitoring the learners and reporting on their progress helps you as an intervention specialist. Sample answer. Monitoring and reporting on the learner's progress help me cooperate with the involved parties. As an intervention specialist, I may not have the liberty to personally explain a learner's progress to the teachers or counselors, given that I work with many kids. Reports capture everything that they need to know about a learner, saving both of us time. 13. Do you think providing individual services to children in a classroom setting is better than offering the same at home? This question does not have a specific answer. It all depends on what you prefer, provided that your explanation makes sense. You can also choose a combination of the two. Just make sure that your answer impresses the interviewer. Sample answer. I believe that every approach has its fair share of advantages and disadvantages. I, therefore, prefer a combination of both methods so that the child in question can enjoy both. The classroom setting ensures that they interact with other learners, which is critical. On the other hand, the home setting allows easier provision of assistance that learners need. Any answer can be right provided that your choice is not out of convenience. 14. Why choose our school out of all the possible options? What irked your interest in this particular school? Make sure that you have something positive that you can say about the school. Also, mention some of the things that it stands to benefit from your services. Sample answer. I grew up in this community and therefore know the teachers, administrators, parents, and counselors well. I believe that charity begins at home and would love to better my community through my services. A job in this institution will allow me to give back to my community while putting food on my table. 15. What do you feel about challenges? Every job comes with its fair share of challenges, and especially when you specialize in intervention. Your approach and outlook will therefore determine just how good you will be in your job as an intervention specialist. Sample answer. I love challenges. I believe that they push me to be better at whatever I do. They also give me a chance to put my skills and abilities to the test, which I absolutely love. Every obstacle that I conquer in my career gives me a reason to come to work every day. Mentioning that you loathe or fear challenges will automatically disqualify you. Therefore, be wise. 16. Why should we hire you out of all the candidates? What makes you feel that you are the best option out of all the interviewees? The interviewer is giving you a chance to sell yourself and once again mention some of the things that the school stands to gain from your expertise. Do not miss this chance. Sample answer. I cannot talk about the other candidates, but my experience cuts me out from the competition. This is my 20th year as an intervention specialist. I have worked in several places, including mental institutions, and helped children with different conditions. I can apply all my expertise, skills, and experience for the betterment of this institution. 17. How do you motivate parents to work closely with their kids? This is an operational question that seeks to uncover how you go about your job. The best approach to such questions is to go straight to the point while giving a step-by-step answer. Sample answer. My job as an intervention specialist cannot be successful if parents are not brought on board. I, therefore, understand their importance in the whole process. Before starting to work with a child, I usually meet with the parents and make them know how important their input is in the child's performance. I am always keen to mention that the success of the programs is partly dependent on him and me. Usually, when parents are made to understand just how important they are in their child's well-being, they go all out to support him or her. I also hold regular meetings where we discuss the child's progress with the parents. 18. How do you feel about paperwork? You should know that this job also involves some paperwork. You will be required to monitor and report on the kid's progress, which brings the paperwork part. Even though it can be tedious, the interviewer needs to know that you have no problem doing it. Sample answer. I do not enjoy paperwork as much as the practical aspect of this job. However, I have no problem attending to it. I understand the importance of monitoring and reporting in this job, and therefore, ensure that my paperwork is always attended to. You can also say that you are a flexible person who does not mind attending to paperwork and the practical aspect of this job. 19. What is the importance of teamwork for an intervention specialist? How does teamwork help you in your work as an intervention specialist? Remember, you will have to work alongside several people in your job. Mention how collaboration makes you succeed in your work. Sample answer. Teamwork is crucial for an intervention specialist. I have to work alongside other professionals and parents to obtain the child's progress. It also ensures that we get to depend on one another. Once I come up with a program, the special education teacher will ensure that the kid in question attends to it, and the parent will monitor him or her at home before reporting to me. This interdependence allows me to succeed in my work. 20. Do you believe that you can influence a child's future? Why? The interviewer wants to know the degree of passion that you usually put into this job. Are you willing to work with a child for a better future? Or does your job end at him or her qualifying for the next grade? Sample answer. My intervention specialist influenced my future by making me believe in myself. I, therefore, believe that I can do the same for my students. I usually make them feel special and convinced that they can take over the world if they wish. I have learned that the first way to secure a bright future is to have high self-esteem.